Live from Kakariko Village. Broadcast throughout the Retroverse, transmitted to the real world via a maze of wires connecting a Super Nintendo to a Wii, to a Wi-Fi network, and finally to the internet. The Techno Funk Boy presents the Retro Zoo Super Show. Now here are your hosts, Kai and Steven.
Alright, so welcome to the Retro Zoo Super Show. I am one of your hosts, Kai.
And I'm Steven.
Or do we need to introduce you?
You can. You don't have to, I suppose. I could introduce myself.
Let's
Hello, I am Ravenint.
Welcome, Ravenint.
Welcome.
I'm not sure why I'm here, but...
I thought you were handling the topic for today.
Oh, I'm doing the whole thing? Alright. Well, I can do that.
We're your co-hosts.
This is what happens when either I run out of ideas or I'm just tired. Is we get a guest on who could do most of the talking for me.
Oh, well, that sounds good. I'll just pick some random topic. Let's see, what can we cover?
Well, definitely welcome. We appreciate you coming on, and we are going to be talking about some random stuff, but also your fancy arcade cabinet.
Well, hopefully fancy when it's done, anyway.
Right.
We should probably warn you, Ravenint. At least I've heard of this as a rumor among cabinet builders from afar, is that there was a man that one time built himself into the cabinet on accident. I just want to warn you, that's just it happens sometimes. It's very rare, but you, as a cabinet builder, I'm sure you've heard it. That's the one thing you should never do. Is
build yourself in
on accident.
All right, let me take a note here. Don't close up. Okay, excellent.
Okay,
I'll do my best to avoid it. One of the problems I'm running into is the fact that I have no idea what I'm doing.
Oh, but before we get to that, how has everybody's week been going? I think that's what I meant to say.
Wait, you gotta start that over.
How has everybody's week been?
Going. It's been bombastic.
Bombastic. Awesome.
Well, have you ever been ice skating?
Yes.
Have you ever tried ice skating uphill?
No.
Okay, well.
So the last time I went ice skating, I was like a teenager, but like some random guy felt sorry for me for how pathetic I was and just gave me like a random lesson.
Did y'all hold hands?
No, thankfully no. I felt awkward the entire time, but you know.
Oh, that was you?
That's funny. Yeah. Ice skating uphill, that doesn't sound like it would work.
Is that what you've been doing? Because that doesn't sound like a good idea at all.
That's, as an analogy for the week, it's pretty accurate.
Wait. Let me think of an analogy for my week. Hold on. Have you ever adopted a small cat-like creature that pretty much was a cat and you didn't really want it, but you keep it in your laundry room and feel guilty all day because it's in there alone in a laundry room?
I'm not taking your cat, man. You've already asked me to take your cat.
I won't let it out. Like, I just saw it we left the laundry room door open, but it comes out and it's like meow, and then it like runs back in because like I just glare at it. And because I'm allergic to cats, so but he's the best friend of my best friend, so felt like obligated to house sit or provide a house for him to sit in. I don't know, but mostly, yeah, I'm now the proud owner of a cat.
Now, the best friend of your best friend, wouldn't that be you?
No, it's his cat. It's his cat. He loves his cat more than me because I'm allergic to his cat, and the cat's not allergic to me. So he was a bachelor up until not too long ago, and his cat was like that. It was his friend.
Wait, did he have to get rid of the cat because he got married?
Yeah. Well, they got a house that the landlord, they rented a house. The landlord had super
okay,
like
so it
allergies,
wasn't like,
wouldn't let them take him. Yeah.
It wasn't like, oh, I do, but drop the cat.
But not with the cat, honey. I don't like that fur all over me.
I think that's a deal breaker.
Because he was the kind of guy that like would show up and he'd have cat fur all over him. Because that cat's laying on him all day. He's a good guy, and the cat is, spoiled. So
Nice.
Comes into my domain where there's like basically the way you get by in my land is you have to make a lot of noise and make yourself known and like fight for what's yours and prove yourself before me, and then I'll choose the victor.
That's not really what cats do. I don't know if anybody told you that, but that is not the way that works at all.
Yeah, I think that's why it's been a struggle for her to adapt. Her name is Wendy.
Nice.
I just gave myself away. If somebody who knows about this listens to the... Anyway.
Why would they know about this and not know you? It's like, wait a minute.
I thought I was talking in code this whole time. I guess I wasn't.
I thought this was all hypothetical.
It is. It is now. Yes, this is all hypothetical.
I mean, you don't believe I was actually ice skating this week, do you?
Well, kind of did, actually, until you just said what you just said. Now I'm questioning it.
Well, have y'all ever, clicked on, hundreds of individual representations of offices within a tower? Like a simulation tower to change the rent so people don't leave?
That sounds really tedious.
Yes.
Probably not hundreds, but certainly dozens.
That's an analogy of my week playing Sim Tower, where I actually did exactly that. But I finally got that game off my backlog, which was fantastic because I bought that game new, when it was like 90. It came out late 94, so I might have gotten it in early 95. But yeah, it was new, and I've had it on my backlog this entire time.
Wait, so what's the objective? You just change rent all the time?
Okay, well, so there's a bunch of different ways to play this game. All of them are kind of tedious, and I have loved this game forever. And if you ask me to explain why, it's very difficult to, because it is an exceedingly tedious game. And at the very beginning, you have no money, and so you build some stuff, and it's kind of like SimCity, except it's all in this tower. So you start building some stuff, and then you immediately run out of money, and you have to wait until the quarter is over, for people to pay you rent. Or you can build a bunch of condos for some quick cash, but they don't. It's not long-term money. It's just immediate cash infusion. But you immediately run out of money, and there's just nothing you can do except stare at it. There's nothing you can do about the game that's cheap. Everything costs a fortune, and so when you run out of money, it's not like you can fiddle with the lobby and put some put some plants in there or anything like that. But as you go, you're trying to get your population up to, I think 15,000 is where you need it to be to win, to make it a tower, and 100 floors tall. And you can like really like nitpick things. Like when people start complaining because they work on the 75th floor and it takes a long time to get down to the bottom. So you can like adjust your elevators or stairs, or you can lower their rent a little bit, and it doesn't work, and they just get more angry. Or you can just lower everybody's rent down to the very, very bottom, and no one complains about anything at that point. And they stay forever. And so you make a lot less money, but it's consistent. You don't have to just adjust all of these tiny little aspects of it, which gets to be overwhelming because there are literally hundreds of office suites that you end up having in this tower. But to get everybody's rent lower, it's not like you can just, select all and change their rent. You have to do it individually. So you have to click each unit, drag the rent down to the bottom, then click OK.
Wait, there's a bottom? You can't give away free units?
No, there's 2,000 a quarter. And the rents are like really wildly different. It's like, the average is 10,000. And like people start complaining, you're like, oh, well, let me lower it a little bit. No, the next level is 5,000, and then it's 2,000. It's like, I can't do like a 7,500 and split the difference a little bit. But no, there's like these drastic changes in price.
It's like half off.
Yeah, no, immediately half off, and then 80% off. But so like, even though you like bring everybody's rent down to 2,000, by the end of the game you have hundreds of units, and so like every quarter you get this like just pile of cash that's like $4 million to play with. And so by that time, you're really not ever running out of money much anymore, unless you're just trying to build a massive new section onto your tower. It's a little bit easier, but that's all you're doing the entire game. And so it always has been for me like a game that I play while watching a movie or show or something like that. And that's exactly what I did this time. I was watching actual play Twitch streams on Twitch while I was playing, and finally beat the game. And I'm not sure why I never beat it. In my younger days, I guess I just
you didn't have
I guess I got too
to play actual stream or actual play game. Watch actual
right? Yeah. It's like, well, I burned through all my VHSs, so I guess I'm stuck. Guess I'll have to start this tower over.
I watched Little Mermaid for the 5th time. I'm just kidding. I don't know. I love that movie.
Wow. Okay.
So, I'm stuck on this 15,000 people thing.
Yes.
Is this a tower in Midgar? That seems that's pretty crazy.
Yeah. It's very unrealistic in a number of ways. One of them being like, all right, it's 100 floors tall and like and almost as wide, and so but they limit the number of elevators that you can have, and so, and of course it's Sims. It's a sim game, and so like not everything is measured accurately according to time and stuff, but you can like watch people like wait at the elevator. And you see, like, there's a little clock in the corner that keeps going. And, like, they'll get to work at, they get to the building at 8 o'clock, but they won't make it up to their office until lunch. And they try to leave and at 5 o'clock, and they finally disappear from the building at, like, 9. It's like, I don't care how cheap the rent is. I wouldn't be able to take that at all. But, hey, $2,000 a quarter, apparently. Apparently you can stand in line for the elevator for 8 hours a day for that amount. That's the magic amount.
That's why you rent an apartment in the building.
Well, and that's another thing is like there's a lot of advantages to condos. They don't use the elevators as much as office workers do. And the elevators are the big problem with it's the challenge of the game, is elevator strategy, I guess. But one of the advantages of condos is they don't use elevators nearly as much, and there's not as many people in the population, and so I skip condos completely, and all my entire tower is hotels and offices. Office, yes, that's sure.
For office.
The more you know, and knowing is half the battle.
And necessity is the mother of invention.
Yeah, I got nothing.
Thundercats. Thundercats. Oh!
Now, is Sim Tower more or less exciting than Sim Ant?
Sim Ant was actually one of the few games from that era of Maxis that I didn't play.
Really? I love Sim Ant.
And it's weird because I think I would have gotten it, except I got Sim Isle after Sim Tower, and I had trouble making it work. But even when it did work, I didn't like it all that much, and I think that's what kind of knocked me off sim games for a while.
Sim Isle. That sounds lame though. It's like they're trying to make you say smile. That's probably why.
I never thought of it that way, but they failed.
Well, that's probably why you stopped playing their game too.
Because I wasn't smiling.
Because you subconsciously sensed they were trying to make you say smile.
It's like this island is actually Valaki, and it's illegal to be sad.
Exactly.
You have to be happy all the time.
That's
Our
why
Dice and Dreary listeners
Valaki.
will get that one.
Yeah,
Well,
plug
that
Dice and Dreary.
observation made me smile.
Yeah, but the rest of our week has been recording music for Dice and Dreary, and I'm kind of beat.
Well, you should play some Sim Isle. Smile. No, that's you know what I always fantasized about, or I've been fantasizing about recently, is a game.
PG, man.
Okay, you know what I dream of platonically? Is a game where it would be like a simulator where you were. Did you ever play with small ships as a child or a youngster, like die-cast metal ships or something? I was like super into spaceships, and I would always imagine they were crashing on alien planets and whatever on the arm of a couch. It was like this cliff edge or whatever. And
the arm of the couch is the alien planet.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I used to do.
We call it Arm Couchia.
No, but I never saw it as the arm of a couch. I always saw it as just like this. Yeah, crazy.
That's what I said.
Terrain.
Arm Couchia.
But now I'm wondering, wouldn't it be a cool simulator if you actually had some kind of alien creatures that came from another dimension? There was a Twilight Zone episode about that, where like this lady's smashing these little spacemen in her house. They're like rodents, and she's making soup or something. And it turns out they're astronauts, like from the U.S. And they have like a little USA flag at the end. It's like the big hook or the catch at the end. It's like, oh, they were actually they were space explorers from the United States. Somehow they got in this other dimension with this crazy giant lady, and she thought they were bugs and squashed them. But I thought that would be a cool game where if you had like spacecraft, and you somehow got a dimensional shift, and you ended up in a different world, but your world was, instead of being an alien planet, it was somebody's like house. And you're flying around this little ship, and you have to like try to, there's like a puzzles and stuff you've got to solve, but you're basically in somebody's house, so you have to utilize stuff in their house, kind of like Toy Story or something like that, except you're actually an alien.
Well, why don't we just make a Toy Story game?
Because they're not actually aliens. They're just like there's some kind of weird thing. I just saw Toy Story over the week.
You could be the claw aliens. Ooh,
yeah, because they actually have
the claw. Yes,
you were the chosen one. Did you see the newest one?
Yes,
I liked it. I thought it was pretty good.
I thought it was amazing.
I did get to go to Toy Story Land last year. The
Really?
New area
Nice.
opened up in Disney.
Whoa! So what was that like?
It was everything was giant. There was a giant woman that was trying to squish him.
No giant woman, but everything else was giant.
That's
You call it like a toy?
They went so far as to find plants that look like giant grass. So the whole premise is you're in
interesting.
Andy's backyard as a toy.
Oh wow!
everything is made out of different toy parts. Like the benches are made out of those the plastic connectors. You have the rods and the like hexagon-shaped plastic pieces that you clip
Oh
together.
yeah.
That's
cool.
awesome.
Yeah, it was really neat. The big ride there is Slinky Dog Dash roller coaster, and it's basically a toy that Andy built and then modified. And as you're going through the queue, you see different diagrams he wrote to, combine his various toys into this roller coaster thing.
Isn't that what the evil neighbor kid was doing?
Sid,
yeah. Wasn't that
Maybe
his
it
thing?
was Sid's backyard.
yeah, because that's where everybody ended up. I think in the beginning of Toy Story 1 was like, oh, it was Sid's yard, or they had to go through Sid's yard at some point.
Right. Yeah.
But that would add a real sinister tone to the whole theme park. Sid was evil.
He was just misunderstood.
Yeah, he's
Sid.
He dreams about the pony.
Sid is probably a banker now.
Probably, he's probably really successful. They say narcissists become really successful people.
I picture him working at the DMV.
That's probably your moral filter is creating that. That he should be there based on his evilness. He should end up at the DMV. But I don't know. I guess the DMV might be a good place to work, though. I mean, who do you report to? Who polices the police?
Gosh, it's like I remember one time I was like, when I went to go renew my license, it's like I was like the first one in line, and when I got in, like the person who was helping me was talking to her friend who was standing right there about how hungover she was. It's like, oh, this bodes well. It's definitely the worst picture I've ever had on my license. She was not a happy camper.
Now, as an elf, do you have to renew your license as often as, us mere humans? Or do you get an extended time?
No, it's just it's unfortunately the same time interval. It's just 300-400 times during your lifetime we got to go in. So
that's a lot of pictures.
Yeah. Can you do like one of those age apps and like just kind of not go in but just send your information based on the app telling you how old you would look?
And I'm 8-bit, and so like there's not really much change over age, anyways.
Yeah, it actually probably just lose some pixels. Just take them off from a certain your head or something.
Right? Yeah, the hair loses pixels a little bit every time.
Well, you did get a lot bigger when Mode 7 came out.
Yeah,
true.
Yeah,
True.
Added some weight to everybody.
Oh yeah, there were a bunch of sprites that were unhappy about that one.
So I'm looking at your finger holes. Are you gonna plug those back up? The finger holes on your control panel, for your cabinet. Are you gonna plug those back up when you're done using them to move that piece of wood around?
That was a fantastic transition into something the audience has no idea what we're talking about.
That was extremely smooth, yes.
Okay, so I'll back up. Okay. Oh wow, ooh, yo. I'm looking at this picture, and it's a piece of wood that Ravenint is using to build his cabinet out of, but it has finger holes in it so he can lift it up. And I was just wondering if you're going to plug those finger holes back in when you're done lifting it up.
Well, first of all, there are 16 holes or 18 holes?
Well, how many fingers do you have?
I'm only 14.
Okay, so this is a couple
That's
extra.
Obviously, so that 2 people can lift. Because it's so heavy.
Okay. No, that's that's the control board. So that's where the buttons will be, and the joystick will be of those side holes that you've drilled.
Yes, and I have since added 2 more holes to each side for ancillary buttons.
for another finger.
In case those missing fingers grow back.
In case Cthulhu comes over and wants to stick his tentacles in there.
Yes, Cthulhu comes. I want to play Mortal Kombat. Come now.
So how are you gonna paint it? I was disappointed when you said that you weren't gonna use a metallic paint.
Wait, are we jumping ahead a little bit?
I'm sorry.
We are all over the place.
First of all, you are building an arcade cabinet.
Yes.
So we've known each other a while, and I think that you're of your right mind. Wait, let me think. Yeah, more or less.
Well, I can't make that judgment because I'd be the last one to know if I wasn't.
Right.
That's true.
So I need to rely on other people to make that decision for me.
Well, should we make it for him, or should we just leave him in suspense?
Yeah, we'll just maybe
I'm
next.
not gonna trust you guys.
That's probably fair. So you decided that you needed an arcade cabinet in your living room, which is something we've all thought about.
We've all wanted.
Right. But, normally we have external forces holding us back. But
to start. How was this approved?
I wasn't going to go into like home politics. I mean,
I'm sorry, just like the glaring question. Like, I want to do this. How did you get this approved?
Yeah, was there bribe? No. I was just like, what? There comes a point where you're like, yes, this is a thing that's going to happen. How do we get to this point?
Well, I've been kicking around the idea for a while, and I think it ultimately came down to my birthday was coming up, and my wife didn't have any good ideas of what to get me.
Birthday, good.
So I see you sitting there on the couch, and I see her. Imagine her saying that I don't have any good ideas to get for you, and you tap your fingers together one by one, like lining them up, and then you look up slowly. I do. Is that how it happened?
It was actually even more insidious than that.
Okay, sweet. I want to hear it.
She texted a friend of mine looking for suggestions, and he floated the idea of, if we get him the controls for an arcade cabinet, it's something he's wanted to do for a while.
Nice.
And they corroborated, and that's ultimately for my birthday. That's what they got me, as the controls and the computer to run everything.
So were you surprised?
I was a bit.
Were you like, crap, now I have a bunch of work to do?
Hold on, I'll be right back. Hold on. Anla, let me know if you need ideas for my birthday. I know it's in June. Okay. She's glaring at me.
No, see, that's not the way to do it. Go the friend method. It works well.
Okay.
So if you need ideas for my birthday, ask Steven.
Brel, if Anla needs ideas for my birthday. Oh, yeah, I forgot she was still here.
You just passed right over me. Like, whatever. I'm not even here. I could have passed that idea along, but nope, too late. Nope. So that is clever. That is a clever and insidious method.
Very, very.
So you got the controllers and everything. You're like, well, I guess I have a bunch of work to do.
Yeah, pretty much.
So what is it that runs this? Is it like a Raspberry Pi?
No, I'm going to be running it off an old Dell. I'm not sure the specs on it.
Oh, okay.
But it's a Windows 7 machine with a valid Windows 7 license even.
Oh, fancy.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised by that, knowing who it came from. But
if you say anything further, you make us accessories after the fact. So, oh goodness. So then what's left is, you got to build a giant cabinet. And
yeah, pretty much.
Connect all of the wires and make sure it works.
Did you have the tools already? Like all the other tools? Like how did you make those holes?
Oh no, I've started out with basically nothing. I pulled my father in to help with the construction because he presumably sort of knows what he's doing.
At least you can look up to him and be like, if he messes up, be like, I thought you knew what you were doing.
Nah, I wouldn't do that.
No, good. That's good to know.
But he has a lot of the tools needed.
Yeah, because you can have that big drill bit with the circle and the.
Now, I don't know how much you want to get into it, but I actually did not have the proper paddle bit for those holes. My prototype board I had built, I think I posted a picture of that on Discord a while ago. Listeners, join Discord to see these things.
And tacos.
But I had an 1.25 inch drill bit, and it was just a little bit too big. And an inch bit was too small, So I've been looking for an inch and an eighth, and as far as I knew, they don't exist. And then Monday, I happened to be at one of my accounts, and I'll check. And lo and behold, there was an inch and an eighth bit.
Oh, nice.
And
So
the buttons do fit there perfectly.
Oh, perfect. Cool. So,
yeah.
how far are you in construction?
Actually, I'm almost to the point where I have to assemble.
Oh, wow.
I've got a couple more panels I need to route out an edge, because I'm going to be putting T-molding on it.
Is that how you're going to connect it all together?
No, T-molding is like the, how to explain it? The edge of a cabinet or something with like a rounded rubber thing on the end of it.
Okay.
And so everything's painted. I got the speaker holes cut out. I've got a couple more holes to do for some cooling fans and a power switch. And then it's just a matter of putting it all together, hope it doesn't fall apart.
And then getting a bunch of quarters.
Yes.
Are you gonna
quarters?
Are you going to put that little quarter thing in it?
Oh, absolutely.
That way, when he has people over, he can make money. That's how he funds this. That's how you fund this thing.
It's like a sign out in your front yard, like arcade game inside.
People, heck, that's how I'm going to get the money back from the kids after paying them for all their chores.
Like now, so awesome. You've done your chores. Now go play a game. Play.
Right? Yeah.
I can increase morale.
Why are we getting our allowance in quarters now? No reason.
That's actually how governments work, right?
In theory. Yeah, I'll increase their morale by upping their allowance to like $20 a week. But then I'll just get it all back, so it won't matter.
Holy quarters, 2 rolls a quarter apiece.
That's awesome.
That's so cool. So yeah, we're looking forward to seeing more of this, and we did run a poll on our Patreon page, and this is binding on what name you're going to paint on it, and so far Farts is winning, Farts with a Z, but we'll find a cool font for it.
All right. My initial thought right now, as a nod to my wife and her love of all things Doctor Who, was to go police box on the marquee.
Oh, nice.
That'd be
For
cool.
a while, I thought if I did it in the form of a TARDIS, I'd have no objections whatsoever. But then I realized I don't have that kind of woodworking talent.
Yeah, that'd be tricky.
That'd be detail.
I guess you could have bought an old. I'm sure they don't sell those. I'm sure every Doctor Who fan would have bought one and already have it. But I was going to say you could buy a real police box and just put it all in there and build the cabinet inside the police box.
I thought about that as well, but my living room's only so big.
But they're bigger on the inside than they are on the outside, right?
Yeah.
True, but the outside's still pretty substantial.
And you have to live on the outside. You actually couldn't get inside your TARDIS.
And I'd get lost inside.
Yeah. I actually like that show too.
Accidentally, travel through time and end up eaten by a dinosaur.
Go back to an arcade, probably take you back to all the best arcades and all the land.
I would go back and find Polybius.
Nice. That's the spirit. Solve this thing once and for all.
I wouldn't share the information. I'd just be like, yeah, I know the truth.
Well, no one would believe you because, first of all, you'd be taking a picture of it with your Android phone, and when you revealed that detail, everybody would look at you like, took a picture of a arcade in the 80s with an Android phone, huh? It doesn't seem likely.
Well, I could go back with all my 2019 dollars and buy a Polaroid.
I would more suggest stock in Amazon or Google or something.
I don't think Amazon or Google stock would be worth much in the 80s.
What was it? I think it was in the movie Frequency. Which is kind of a time travel movie, which is really good.
Who's in that again? What's the guy's name?
Dennis Quaid and
Yeah.
I think Jim Caviezel's in it.
Dennis Quaid.
The modern character tells the old character to tell so and so to invest in I think it was Yahoo, and And so that's going to be entertaining, to explain to people now.
Well, we should put that in
What's
the
Yahoo?
probes and out into space with like symphonies and stuff. We should say like, also we have to explain that movie frequency. Like, it was this long explanation of why that's extra funny now.
Right.
It's not only funny now; it's extra funny.
The aliens are like, okay. They're like, no, you don't get it. They're like, I know we get it. And be like, oh, you don't get the joke. No, I mean, it's fine. We get it. It's funny.
I wonder if that's what. I forgot about that part of the movie, or I don't even remember that part. But I vaguely remember the movie. But did you ever watch that YouTube guy?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you know that YouTube guy. Man, I can't think of his name, so I can't. But he did like animation for weapons and stuff, and he's always doing gunfights. They had like really big guns and stuff. He's kind of an early YouTuber. But anyway, he did one where he time traveled, and he went back and told his younger self to buy Apple. And I never knew what that was referencing. I thought it was just an original joke, but it's probably referencing frequency.
I'm pretty sure that's like a common reaction to people who go back in time, is to tell their earlier selves I mean that's the premise of Back to the Future 2, is that what's his name goes back and Biff tells his younger self who to bet money on at the local horse track, because sports almanacs in the future will definitely list out every single pony race everywhere in the world.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure that any of us time traveling will
go back and tell it. Yeah.
We'll do that, or I try to get some Viking woman to ride a dinosaur like in Kung Fury, because that movie's awesome.
Yeah, the movie was pretty awesome.
Okay, so back to arcade cabinets. So Rave, do you have? I mean, is there something that like you're really looking forward to playing again? Like, I have this great memory of this game, and I'm super pumped to jump in on this again.
Well, unfortunately, my favorite arcade game of all time, I won't be able to play for a while still. That would be Area 51, the classic shooter.
Ah, yes.
Of course, with modern monitor technology, the light guns don't work well.
Yeah, and if there's ever a reason for us to just abandon modern technology and go back to CRT screens, it's light gun technology.
Yeah, that's how it'll make them come back.
There are a few companies out there that do make light guns. I'm not sure how well they work. The reviews have been spotty at best. But at some point I'll try it out. And yes, I did just totally no-sell what you said. But anyway.
That's just revenge for Dyson Dreary. I know. I'm okay with it.
Yeah, good call. Did we even mention that I am the one who plays Sprocket on Dyson Dreary?
I don't think we did. So, yes, this is Sprocket, the one and only.
And
he builds things in real life as well.
Not nearly as well, but...
Well...
However, in real life, I do jump between topics, like,
Squirrel!
Wait, what are we doing? So, of course, X-Men...
That's why you're such a good fit here.
True. So, back to the topic at hand. Quit distracting me.
Oh, that's nice. Sorry.
The classic Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, X-Men, is a great game. Today I watched at one of my accounts, someone was playing The Simpsons. I'm like, oh yeah, I got to get into that.
Ah, yes. That was a great game.
And with the ROM set I got, there's just so much out there that I could play for years, just stuff I've never played before.
Yeah.
The set I have has 2,735 games on it.
That is a lot of quarters.
So those will all be available.
You're going to need to take out a loan just for the quarters.
Well,
So that's really cool. So what will the GUI be like?
I'm not entirely sure so far. I
I
found a
hope,
front
it's not,
end.
I hope it's not gooey.
I know, you better clean it. You make a mess.
With your empty eye holes.
So I found a front end I'm probably going to end up using. And one of the nice things is it's compatible with the main ROM sets. And it'll go out and scrape for all the box art or cabinet art.
Oh, cool.
So I can get that while browsing through the games. I haven't done it yet, but I will. Yeah, they do have a paid version I'm going to have to look into, see if it's worth going to that. Ultimately, I'd like to be able to make it standalone so I don't need a separate keyboard and mouse.
Yeah, so you could just scroll through it with your little joystick and buttons.
Exactly.
And just one thing that would be tricky is if there's 2,000 games, that's a lot of scrolling. So you'd probably want to type in but I guess you could do a like a name select where you move the thing around and hit A and then you move it to another letter, B, whatever.
Well, the one thing that's nice about the front end I'm using is it will automatically generate playlists. So it'll set up
neat.
like, okay, Capcom Classics Volume 1.
Okay. So you can okay. So it'll already kind of be organized, and you can cycle through like big clumps.
Exactly.
It's not going to be like 2,000 games lined up alphabetically.
Right.
It's going to be like okay. Well, that makes a lot more sense because I was like, dang, that's going to be a lot of scrolling.
I had that problem when I got the EverDrive for my NES because I got all of the region variations of the ROMs and stuff on it, and so when I just dumped it all in, it's like trying to get to Zelda 2 was kind of miserable. But then separated it out into
you put
the different letters.
Block on the button, the down button. You go get like a glass of milk and some cookies and come back because it's still scrolling.
Right? Yeah.
If you had just sorted in reverse order, that would have been easier for you.
Well, but then when I wanted to play, Addams Family, then
which is he always wanted to play Addams Family right after he wanted to play Zelda.
Well, in all honesty, I mean, I went from Zelda 2 to playing Pool of Radiance, but it was listed as Advanced Dungeons and Dragons Pool of Radiance AD. So it's on the first page of the list.
You can flip it back.
Or I could have not downloaded every single regional variation of each game that I'm never going to play.
Yeah.
But I have them if I want to.
You never know what you might be into.
You never do.
Another nice feature of the front end I'm using is I can randomly select a game. And I assume the EverDrive would let you do that too?
I don't think so. I'd have to look into that, but that'd be pretty cool. Or miserable, depending on what I got.
Well, it's kind of the fun.
Yeah.
It's like, Russian roulette type of thing. So give me a random game and I'm just going to play it.
Right, yeah.
Well, you could probably do that for a long time and not play the same one.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, I guarantee that.
So are you going to have is this going to be in your main living quarters or is this going to be in some kind of basement area?
Hey, it's going in the living room.
Nice.
Sweet.
Which was actually my wife's idea as well. I was planning on putting it on the porch, and she didn't like that idea for some reason.
Well, on the porch, you would definitely get more money from passerbys.
That's true.
Or you lose it altogether. A passerby might just say, screw this. I'm not putting any more money in here. I'm going to take the whole thing.
With as heavy as this going to end up, I don't think so.
You never seen those videos of people like dragging ATMs out of convenience stores with chains?
Oh, those videos are fun.
It might be the same thing. You might throw some chains around it and just drive off.
With as poor as the construction's going to be on this thing, I don't think so.
They're going to be driving away with just a bouncing circuit board behind there. That's pretty cool. So you've posted a couple more pictures in the Discord, and I see that you've got this nice black finish.
Yeah, very nice. Is this what you were complaining about at the very beginning, jumping ahead all the way to the type of paint?
Probably. I've complained about a lot of things for a while.
No, I thought it was Steven. You were saying something about paint, weren't you?
Oh, Steven, yes.
Yeah, I don't know what I was saying. That was 5 minutes ago. I don't remember.
So yeah, it's a nice black finish, and get to see the fun buttons. And
PG, man.
oh
Wow,
gosh,
I don't even know what to say.
I don't either. So, anyways, so we a couple of weeks ago volunteered you to keep coming back on the show to tell us about video games because
I heard that episode. And I was like, you what now?
You're swerving around the road.
No,
Spit my coffee out.
And I think I got a message from you, something about, it's like, well, I guess I'm now obligated to come on the show to talk about these games. And I was like, no, it was a few episodes ago. No one remembers what we were talking about then.
But here you are. And I'm glad you came. Because this is pretty cool. And I've been excited about it. I mean, I guess,
I can't wait to see the finished product.
I know they sell these like as kits, but this is not a kit. This is like you're doing it from scratch, it looks like. I mean, maybe you have some instructions, but I know they sell these as kits. I've seen people do them before.
They do. And the kits are all pretty expensive.
He's like, wait, there's kits? Hold on.
Well, now, a buddy of mine, actually the same one that provided me with the Castus belly to do this, was he bought a homemade router jig type thing. So you program in what you want for shapes, hook your router up to it, and it cuts the shapes out automatically.
Oh, sweet.
But he told me for my first cabinet I can't use it. Like, well, why'd you even tell me about it for then?
It's just, it's
that's actually really cool.
Encouragement to make more.
Well, it's like how serious are you? Like, are you going to get into this? You got to do it yourself first. It's like, what if you had told the D&D guys back in the day, like, hey, wait 15 years and this will all be online and you can talk on Discord with people across the planet, and they wouldn't have done it. They would have been like, that'll be so cool. We'll just wait 15 years, and we'll wait for that to happen. And but guess what? They didn't have that technology, so they actually had to learn how to play D&D with pencil and paper without dice rollers and everything. And that's how we have dice rollers now, because somebody actually had to roll dice for a long time.
Somebody got sick of it. They lost their D20 and they're like, crap, what do we do now?
Many great DMs were lost along the way because they lost their D20s.
Well, then the DM is like, well, they'll never know. I have this DM screen in front of me. I'll just use the D12.
Yeah, DMs don't actually look at the dice they roll.
Right. That's why Rick Tavio kept rolling, twos on this latest episode.
Oh yeah, 1, 2, 4, 8. Right. It's like
he's getting kicked in the belly. Wait, Rick Tavio was the good guy, right?
Yes.
He's the one that was getting like totally pulverized.
Wow, just spoilers right there.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's almost over. The day's almost over. I mean, the listener should have.
If you haven't listened by now, then Oh gosh, and you definitely should listen. I feel like I'm saying this over and over again, but I'm astonished by my own insanity, where I thought it was a good idea to do 52 minutes of straight continuous original music, and by the time I got to the end of that, I was like, why did we do that? That was dumb. But that's this episode. So this is the only time I'm ever going to do that. So you need to listen just for that. Oh, so it's a good episode.
It is good. It's funny because I just finished this.
If you yawn and then speak, I can edit out the yawn. If you yawn while you're speaking, there's nothing I can do.
Wait, you edit this?
I mean, it's live.
But he has a time traveling police box that he can alter time with and take things out that we said.
Well, it's a 10-second delay. He's editing on the fly.
That's right. We don't want any profanity to get to our audience.
And the delay is actually just an artifact of the dial-up lag.
Right. These are just electrons bouncing back and forth between junctions, waiting for some kind of invisible train switch to move in the ether space.
I'm not entirely sure that's how the internet works, but let's roll with it.
That's how it works in my mind.
The packets are carried by steam engines.
It's like I think in our first episode we tried to explain what podcasts were.
That was the very first episode. Actually, that was the third episode.
I thought that was the first one.
Anyways,
it doesn't matter.
Okay, yeah. I don't want to reveal all the secrets.
Yeah, I'll go back and listen to every single one because that's what I do in my free time. Oh goodness. So, anyways, we are really excited to vicariously enjoy this through you. And so we, thank you for posting like stuff in the Discord because it's really cool to see.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, and the next thing we're going to probably need to do is you're going to need to fly us out there so we can play on it. So you might need to start saving up some money.
For science.
For science. And for friendship.
That can be done, but you're going to have to play a lot.
Bring a bunch of quarters.
Oh my goodness, like $500 worth of quarters.
Sir, your carry-on bag is way too heavy. Really? What is in here? What is in here? Bricks? Kind of.
Sir, you need to empty the change out of your pocket, and you'll be there for half hour.
I need more of these little baskets.
I wonder how many coins Sprocket could carry.
Probably can carry his weight plus 10.
Plus 10
pounds.
Oh gosh. Well, we will leave it at that. I mentioned it a few episodes ago, but I'm very interested in seeing what you think of these games. As arcades are not something that I played a lot of, and so it's like this. Yes, because we heard stories about Polybius, and it's like this whole area of retro gaming that I don't have a lot of knowledge of, and so looking forward to hearing what you think about the games that you're going to play, and first of all, hopefully to get the thing actually built and working, because that'd be cool.
Yeah, I'm hoping to finish it up in the next couple of weeks.
Nice.
Just don't build yourself into it.
Yeah, I have that note here somewhere.
You're putting the last panel on. You make sure you're on the right side of that panel.
Yeah, he probably left it on the inside of the box.
Well, I figured
wait, what did this note say? Oh, crap.
Well, if I write it on like the inside of the case, when I'm assembling it, I'll see it.
Yeah, that's probably a really good place. Write it on in glow-in-the-dark paint.
Well, then I painted over it.
On the inside of the case. You paint on the inside?
A lot of it, yeah.
And just remember when you do get it finished that that Donkey Kong record can be yours. Just don't mention that it's on a MAME.
True enough, no one will notice.
Right. No one looks very carefully at these things.
Exactly.
All right, so that will do it. We do appreciate you joining us. Please do join us on our Discord. The link is in the show notes. And you can also get updates on the building of the cabinet and just hang out with us as we talk about a lot of retro gaming, game music, gaming memes, Dungeons and Dragons.
Games and more.
And other games and other types of games and some games along with it. We are, I'm hoping possibly next week to get the first episode of our music show done for our patrons on Patreon. And so if you are interested in that's going to be available, like the Mega Man music at any level. And so, patreon.com/TechnoFunkBoy. We really do, thank, everyone for their support on that. That it goes a very long way in making the show happen. It's not an expensive show to make, but it does have expenses. And so we do thank you for that. But otherwise, Rave, thanks for joining us, and we look forward to having you back to talk more about these games.
Well, thanks for having me.
And we will see you all next week.
See ya.
The Retro Zoo Super Show is brought to you by the Techno Funk Boy. Follow us on Twitter at Techno Funk Boy, on Facebook at the Techno Funk Boy, and sign up for our email list at technofunkboy.com. Also look for us on Spotify, iTunes, and Amazon for music. If you are so inclined, please leave us a 5-star rating and review on your favorite podcast catcher. If you are not so inclined, you are obviously some sort of villain trying to conquer the world. Unowned music and gameplay clips are used for educational and critical purposes. Thank you for listening. Keep gaming. And once you have responsibilities that need to be done at this time, then you can game later.